The Nile, the world's longest river by some measures, is the backbone of Egypt and the cradle of one of the world's most enduring civilizations. But where exactly does it come from, and how did it shape the course of human history? That's what we'll find out today, sometime around 30 million years ago. The Earth's tectonic plates shifted, creating the East African Rift. As the plates continue to drift apart, the land between them began to sink, forming a massive trough. Over millions of years, rain filled this trough, creating a giant lake, but over time, the waters in the lake found their way south through a series of waterfalls at the edge of the Great Rift Valley, and so the White Nile was born. Fast forward to around 12,000 years ago, and we find a very different world. Much of the northern part of the continent is underwater, but the further south you go, the more dry land there is. Here in the eastern part of the Sahara, we can see the first settlements along the Nile. Small bands of nomadic hunter-gatherers have been living here for tens of thousands of years, but only now are they beginning to farm the land, as the Sahara transitions into the Sol. The climate becomes more tropical and the land even richer, further downstream. Just south of the first cataract, or rapids, the Nile enters the Egyptian desert. Here the river slows and begins to spread out, creating the first of many deltas along its course. It's warm, it's wet, and there's plenty of food to go around. So it's no surprise that the first great Egyptian city, Memphis, would be founded right here. As the centuries pass, more cities spring up along the riverbank, including Thebes, just south of the Second Cataract. By the 30th century BCE, the entire river valley is dotted with settlements and farmlands, all sustained by the life-giving waters of the Nile. Every 2 years, the river would flood, depositing nutrient-rich silt on the surrounding land, making it one of the most fertile regions on Earth. With reliable food supplies, Egyptians were able to build grand temples to their gods, including the great complex at Karnak, which would be expanded by every pharaoh for over a millennium. But even as the Egyptian kingdoms rose and fell, the Nile continued to sustain life in the medieval period. It became an important artery for trade, connecting sub-Saharan Africa with the Mediterranean world. In the 14th century, Arab geographers would record the first detailed maps of the Nile, describing everything from the hippopotamus to the source of the White Nile, which they believed to be Lake Victoria. By the 18th century, European cartographers had discovered the true source of the Nile, finding their way to the very heart of Africa. But as the centuries passed, the once mighty river was increasingly seen as a barrier rather than a lifeline. For much of the modern era, the Nile has been the center of conflict, dividing the Egyptian kingdom into upper and lower halves even after unification. The river remained a political flashpoint, dividing the Ottoman-controlled Levant from British and French colonies. This changed with the founding of the modern Arab world. In 1956, the Aswan High Dam was constructed, ending the annual flooding of the Nile and providing Egypt with a new source of energy. But in recent decades, the river has fallen victim to over-extraction and pollution, to massive dams built on the Blue Nile by Ethiopia have only exacerbated these problems. Today, the future of the Nile remains uncertain, with a population of over 150 million people, most of whom live along the river. It's vital that Egypt manages this precious resource carefully. But the Nile's importance goes beyond mere water. It's a cultural touchstone, a religious symbol, and the lifeblood of one of the world's oldest civilizations. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please hit the like button and subscribe for more fun geography videos.